Hi everyone, it's Melissa here with Communicate with Angels, and I have one of my dearest friends here to share with you all today on a topic that I think you will really resonate with. And the topic is how to receive healing and comfort from your angels. So I would love to have Rosie Holroyd here introduce yourself to everybody.
Thanks. Yeah, it's great to be here. So my name's Rosie. I learned how to communicate with my angels from Melissa back in 2010, I think it was. These techniques really ways of communicating with myself, my angels, with other people really grabbed me. So I wanted to learn more about it, and then learned how to teach these techniques as well with the Way Showers College. So I've been exploring them with Melissa and others and teaching them as well since then. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So I have an online course. If you have not heard of it, it's called the Communicate with Your Angels online course. And part of what's included in that program is a one-on-one session with a certified consultant, and Rosie is one of the consultants that works with that program. She's in the UK, which is always lovely because I do have a lot of clients that are in the UK and Europe, so they get to connect with her in that time zone, as well as just really benefiting from Rosie's feeling energy. So there are 4 spiritual gifts, and one of those is your primary. And Rosie is a feeler, so she approaches things quite differently than I do sometimes, because feeling is 4th in my order, but it's 1st for her. I'm a visionary, if you're curious. So it's really beneficial to learn from lots of different people who have different approaches. And that's why I wanted to have Rosie on here today, because she mentioned to me something that she has experienced that I have heard from many of my clients. And I really think this is a great opportunity to address this. And what that is that I have people who have learned to connect with their angels, and they feel really excited by it, and they have this connection, and they're feeling really comforted by that. And over time, sometimes they feel like, wow, that communication went away. You know, I could feel my angels so closely to me, and now I'm not feeling them, or I feel like I'm not getting answers when before I was. And that can be very disconcerting, you know, because you've had positive experiences with it. So then you feel like, well, why did it go away? Did I do something wrong? Are my angels mad at me? I mean, you know, our mind can go crazy with these things sometimes. So Rosie had shared with me about this, that she's experienced it from time to time, and she has some really great perspectives on this and solutions for you if you've ever experienced this yourself. So Rosie, how have you experienced that with your communication with your angels?
So as you said, my first gift is feeling. My experience of when I've just really, I think when I was learning to communicate with my angels, and just the experiences that just really led me to believe, like to know that they were there, were the feelings of well-being that I was getting when I was communicating with them, just how good I was feeling, and just how naturally relaxed I was feeling. And so I've had times like that. And then I've also had times when I've felt my connection has just really gone away. And also during those times, I've felt very alone. I've felt quite negative about myself. And I realized that one of the biggest things I wanted to come back was just those feelings of well-being and being relaxed that I had when I felt my angels were close to me. Yeah. And
so what tools have you used when you have felt that disconnection?
I think one of the reasons I experienced that is because I think it was really good for me to build up my own confidence and my trust in myself, and to know how to experience those feelings of well-being myself. So one technique that I use is actually I will journal throughout the day. So I'll carry a really small notebook around with me, and it'll all be positive journaling. So I'll ask myself questions like, what's something good that's happened this morning? Who am I grateful to? So what am I grateful to myself for? What am I grateful to other people for? On well this morning? What's something I've done well this morning? What am I grateful to the universe for? And so what I'll do is I'll just, when I I'll just carry that little notebook around with me, and I'll write maybe just one page every time I think of it. So whenever I've got a chance to, whenever I've got a moment to stop, I'll just write one page of those and answering positive questions like that's what I just said. And I find that really does change my state. It just helps me to tune into the goodness that is within me, and then really focusing on the things that I'm grateful to the universe for as well, like those things that just sort of like, you know, the little coincidences that happen, the things that I know I'm grateful for, but it's not me, it's not something I've done and not something that someone else has done. I don't exactly know where it came from. Just really focusing on those things, I just noticed that it starts to build up in me, just those feelings of goodness within me, and that helps me to get back into that relaxed state. And I just noticed when I do that, it just seems to build on itself. Like the more I do of it, the more sort of good things I start to notice. I just start to notice more good things around me, and then I notice the good feelings within myself as well. So that's one technique that I use.
Yeah. So what I hear from that is that you're learning how to build up your positive feelings within you. And it's wonderful when we can receive that from our angels. You know, it's, of course, do that, everybody. But sometimes what I notice is that as we start to grow spiritually, our angels will start to take a step back because they want us to do more for ourselves and not become so reliant on something outside of you doing it for you. So I can feel as you're sharing that, Rosie, that your angels are giving you a lot of backing. And you're also learning, okay, how can I really support myself and feel positive in myself? And it's so important to acknowledge and pay attention to the coincidences, to the signs. When we pay attention to that and focus on it, we'll probably start to be pretty amazed at how many wonderful things are happening, right? And it's very easy. I know you mentioned this before we started recording, right? And I know I do it. It's very easy to start judging myself or focus on the things that aren't going right. You know, so this is what you're sharing is a tool to shift that, you know, so that, because feeling good inside, especially if your first gift is feeling, is really the foundation for everything else. You're not probably going to be able to connect very well with your angels if you're feeling crappy, right?
Yeah, yes. And I do notice, so when I start to build up these good feelings inside, I do notice that more good things happen outside of me. Things, just nice things seem to come along, like that I wasn't expecting. I do notice that, but I feel like that's kind of like the cherry on the top, even if those things don't happen, because sometimes I still might have a day where many things go wrong. But even if those things don't happen, I know how I can build up the good feelings within me again, and I feel like that's the most important thing.
Well, I love that too, because it's so easy to start expecting, okay, I feel good, so universe, bring me the stuff, you know, and that's a really lovely balanced approach you have there. It's like some of those things are outside of my control, but what I can practice is feeling good inside, and that way your vibration is high, if you want to put it in those terms. But mostly it's just feeling good and relaxed, and I think that's what a lot of people are seeking at the end of the day. You know, any other tools that you have for helping you to feel kind of reconnected with your angels again?
So yeah, when I do love to, just really simple, I just love to light a candle, sit down, just take a few deep breaths, and then just say to my angels, could you give me some perspective on this particular issue that's on my mind at the moment? And then it's just, it's really important for me that I'm in that good relaxed state. If I'm not, it's very hard to tune in. But then I'll ask questions like, so what's the most loving thought that I could think right now? Also questions like, what's the most supportive thing that could possibly come to me right now? What's the thought that feels the highest level of support to me? And then I just take some breaths and I just completely relax, and I wait until the thought that does feel like, this is the highest possible most supportive thought I could think right now. And if anything comes in which feels like it has an element of judgment or negativity to it, then I just let that go, and I just focus on my breath again, and I just come back to that question, okay, what's the thing that feels absolutely the most highest support to me right now, and just wait until that comes in.
That's beautiful. Yeah, again, because it's so easy to start engaging in the judgmental thoughts. And, you know, our angels are always solution oriented. So this is a great tool. And that what you're describing there requires a little bit of patience. You know, it's she's like, more than a little. Yeah. It's not always like ask and you shall receive, like within an instant. You know, that can happen. It's amazing when it does. But I really encourage people too to realize that working with spirit is not always going to be linear, and it's not always going to be instant. And it's like really just allowing yourself to tune into that energy, I feel, is like what you're describing there. Love that. So one of the things people ask me about too is like, can I receive healing from my angels? Do you have any practices you do for that when you need some healing?
So yeah, I feel like absolutely. It feels like it's a really important practice to me, to always tune back into myself and actually tune back into the goodness that I can feel from myself. So I might even just do something really simple, like just, you know, set up my room so it feels nice to me, you know, maybe some incense, light a candle, some music if I like it, just something that feels nice and nurturing to me. Make sure I've got some quiet time to myself, and then just something really simple, like even just sort of put my hand on my heart and just take some deep breaths and tune in and just feel the goodness that's there. Just wait and be patient, and then just feel like, oh yeah, that is good. There is goodness there that does feel good. So it feels really important to tune back into that sense from myself. But then absolutely, if I ask my angels, just please, will you send me some healing? Then yes, absolutely, they will send that to me as well. So.
Yes, I do that as well. I'll just say, okay, angels, can you send me some healing? Like maybe I've got a headache that day or something else is going on, and I can just ask for that healing, and I can really feel the difference. There is a shift for sure. And so I encourage, you know, people watching this to just do that. It's like all of what we're describing here is very simple, but it tends to be things that we don't make time for, you know. That's amazing, Rosie. So are there any other ways that you feel that your angels bring you comfort in your life?
Yeah, and I feel like it's all very simple, but there are times when just little coincidences happen, or things work out really well, or things just go really smoothly and easily, which is a surprise. And I suppose to me that just feels like that's my angels being there, just letting me know that they are there. It feels like that to me.
Yeah, I would say for sure. You know, I think that when we're tuned into spirit, things can show up, and we have a 50-50 relationship with our angels in the universe. And it's one thing to sort of believe that and say that, but it's another to really experience it. I know one of the things that you were struggling with for a while was finding a living situation that worked for you. So is that perhaps an example of things showing up easily?
Yes, it is, absolutely. And I think, yes, when I'm having the times when I'm finding it difficult to connect, I sort of don't acknowledge those things. I miss all of those things. But then, you know, when I do acknowledge the things, even the really simple things, even like for example, like, you know, I saw some flowers as I was walking to the shop, and the flowers are really beautiful. Even really simple things like that. When I build up acknowledging those things, I do notice in my life that things start to go more easily. And yeah, so finding my apartment is definitely one of those things. I was in a living situation for about 3 years that was not what I wanted at all, and I tried a couple of different ways to find a new place, and none of them had worked out. And I was feeling very stressed about it, and just finding it very difficult to wade through all the hoops that I needed to go through to get to this place that I wanted. But in the end, when I found the place, I'm in a new place now, which is really ideal for me. And when I did find that in the end, actually it was so easy. I hardly even needed to do anything. I just sort of replied to a Facebook message, and then it was just sort of like, you know, the steps just sort of fell into place. And then a couple of weeks later, I was in the new place. So yeah, that's definitely one example of just something going really smoothly and easily when I hadn't expected that it would go that way, that it would be possible for it to go that way.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a great example. One of the things I share with people is like working with your angels is the difference between living life the easy way or the hard way. And I know I do this, right? I make things hard for myself sometimes because I start worrying and getting fearful. And if we can just relax and tune in, like our angels will help us make things smooth and easy. But sometimes it requires being a little bit patient. You know, sometimes it requires, you know, waiting for the timing to be right. But then when that opportunity shows up, and you were consistently working toward that goal, you know, even though maybe not always taken action toward it, but you were true to that goal. And so then when the timing was right, it shows up because you're receptive and open to it. Yay, I'm so excited for you for that. Well, this was so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing with everybody, Rosie. It is a pleasure. I encourage people who, if this resonates with you, if you want to learn more tools to have this simple and direct communication, to have things flow more easily in your life, and to feel that comfort and that reassurance that you can receive from your angels, it's available to you. And we just need to learn some more tools to access it. I'm going to be doing a free webinar. Often Rosie helps me with them, so you may well see her on there as well. And it's called How to Connect with Your Angels or Spirit Guides. And you can sign up for that class at communicatewithangels.com/webinar. You're going to experience how to start being more relaxed and tuned in, a simple tool to do that. You're going to start receiving a direct message from your angels. And you're going to learn some ways that you can really utilize their help in your life. So make sure you go ahead and click that link, get yourself registered. It's free, but you'll need to be registered to get all of the links and the details, etc. So I can't wait to see you all there live and connect with us on the free webinar. And thank you so much for being here, Rosie.
Thank you.
All right. See you later, everybody. See you on the webinar.